So today we are going to talk about the financial simulation capital budgeting for the New Heritage Doll Company. So my financial snapshot here is showing that in 2014 my company APV was about 327.26. This being said, this is not a very good APV, but it's the best I could do for right now. My goal is to get as close to 1,000 as I possibly can. If we look over here, you can see that our revenue, operating income, and net income are shown. And you can see that I was steadily increasing from 2009 to about the current period, and that my actual, what I was receiving, was increasing compared to the forecast that I had originally looked at, which is a good sign, but I can continue to grow with that. Down here under divisional reports, we can see that I'm getting a lot of my money from my licensing. That's what this blue is here. And that if you can kind of tell that my production dipped under a little bit in the beginning in 2014, but it is going to rise by 2024. Over here, we just kind of see a pie chart explaining how I'm actually making the most revenue from my retail and then production and licensing, which is still pretty good. I'm making a really good amount through retail and nothing's necessarily hurting me. There's also my operating profit, which is coming mostly from licensing, about 26.43, and then my total assets, production 124.25. Also, to help me choose my project, I would look at the project updates to make sure that everything was running smoothly. So here you can see that the children's accessory line performed well, slightly higher than budget. So that's good. That means I'm doing it slightly better than I had planned. And then the doll houses and miniature dolls says that this project launched successfully, but with somewhat lower margins than expected, attributable to higher production and marketing costs. Therefore, this one wasn't necessarily something I should have invested in. And same with the coupon promotion, it's saying that it was affected, but fell short as well. So to look at how my investments have been going, I can click down here to do View All Updates, which will take me to my project updates that just kind of shows me how I invested over the years. So if you look down at 2009, I started out with about 3 projects. 2010 was just 1. 2011 to 12, we had 4, and then 13 we started decreasing again. So you can just kind of look here to see how my projects were doing. So if we looked at in 2011, the Grow With Me doll line, you can see that unexpected quality problems caused first-year revenues to fall short of expectations by half. This being said, I did not do very well in picking my investments because clearly they are not doing as well as I had projected them to be doing, which is causing me to fall short on my APV, my net income, and on my cash flow statement. So now if we go back up to the top, we can go over to project details, which is going to show me a little bit more about each project individually. So if we look over here, we can click on this little tab, and it shows me all of the available projects, which are the projects that I didn't choose due to multiple reasons. And then down here, you can see all the projects that I did choose, also for specific reasons. The ones that I didn't choose maybe had to do with the cost of them, or if I didn't believe that they were going to do the best for my business. So let's take a look at the toddler doll accessory line. Here we can see that my project discount rate is very low. This is actually a very good thing. This helps me increase my cash flows and increase my in profit, because the lower this is, the more money I am going to be making. So the toddler doll accessory line was a low risk investment that I made in 2009. And if you look over here at the cost, this was good because the 2015 projected cost was nothing. However, my lifetime costs were about 3.14, which is totally fine because I'll be able to make that money as soon as possible and just save it for when the time comes. Down here you can see that the NPV is very high. This is a very good thing. This means that the net present value for this investment is very high, meaning that I'm going to be receiving the majority of my money back and making a ton of money off of this. The only downside here was that the payback period was 8.7 years, so I'm not going to be making the most amount of money off of this project right off the bat. It's going to take me a while to get started. So if we scroll down, we can find our cash flow statement right here, and if we take a look at our net income, you can see that we are steadily increasing. We're not staying stagnant at all. We are increasing by a significant amount each year, and we are going to continue to increase a significant amount for the next few years. As well as our depreciation, this is a number that always needs to be positive. So by the depreciation continuing to increase by 0.02 or 0.01, this is helping everything as a whole increase, which you can see from the total column. Which brings me down to my ending cash balance down here at the very bottom. You can see that I'm increasing by about 4 or 0.04 or more each year, which is a very solid increase, and that this project is a very good investment on my part. So let's scroll back up to the top and let's take a look at a different project, maybe one that I didn't do as well on when it came to picking. So let's look at doll houses with miniature dolls. So here we can see that the project discount rate is a lot higher, meaning that I will not be making as much money off of this project, because you can also see over here the risk was very high. And I chose to make this investment in 2013. And the 2015 costs were 0.02, which still is not bad because my lifetime costs are still only about 4.73. This being said, this cost-wise, this was a good-looking project. However, when we come down here to look at, say, our NPV, our net present value, it's only 12.76. This is very low for a present value for an investment, and I should have taken that into consider when I went to choose this instead of only looking at other things, as in the payback period, which is 7.74, which is a little lower than the last project we looked at, but it's still not very good for us to be making money back. So let's just scroll down again to our cash flow statement. And you can see that we were increasing, but our net income was increasing a ton. But then if you look down, you can see that our depreciation was very stagnant. It doesn't start to increase until like 4 years later, which is not going to be helping the project at all. So you can look down at the ending cash balance, which kind of increased a lot in the beginning and then stayed pretty casual the next few years, which is fine, but again, it's not a very good project in the end for my company. So if we take a look at our income statement and balance sheet, we can see that our net income was great and that we were steadily increasing. We never were negative. And you can see that depreciation continued to increase like I had said, and our net sales as well here up at the top. So if we take a look back at our dashboard one last time before we call it a day on this, you can see that our APV again was 327.26, which is not very good. We can always continue to increase that number. We want to be as close to 1,000 as we possibly can. Thank you.